Okay, so everyone, we will start in 1 minute later, and please change your display name by the participant box, and you can right-click your name so that you can change your name. And if you are free to change your background, here is the link, and you can join us to change your background. And later, we will like you to turn your camera on so that we can see your face and we can know you more later. Okay, so it's 10:10 now. I think the events will can be start now, and please wait for me. Someone is getting in. Okay, so please rename your meeting name as your English name and your grade and department. And please turn your camera on. And please feel free to introduce yourself in chat box. Okay, and we will have QA session at 11:25. And if there is any emergency contact, please call. Please have this number. And my name is Paula. I'm from Atelier Future. We are welcoming everyone to have joined this online introduction today. This is for second year of Future Dynamic, and today's agenda is like this. We will have the introduce first, and then we will have team to help us to introduce this year's fall Future Dynamic program, and then we will have Kelsey and Kalaya to help us to introduce the Creative Leadership Development program. And then XR Campus will have Kyle and Paul and Kobayashi Sensei. So later we will have the past participant, the alumni sharing part from Jasmine, and later, and the last part is application introduction. So if there is any question today, you can have put it in your chat box. So I will start it first. I'm from Atelier Future, and I have my coworkers Jenny beside me, and we are one of the units in NCKU. And our first question is, when you first entered NCKU, what were your hopes about the person you want to become? I think this is a question that everyone should be thinking in the first you get into NCKU. And by this question, we would like to ask everyone to make an impact on the work. So Atelier Future is centered around the theme of future. And in NCKU, we stand as advocates for the future and the pioneers of innovation and the guides of thoughtful reflection. And we are really happy, and we are glad to accompany with you on the journey of the exploration. And also, we will like to make everyone to become a future talents. And we will have the future venue as a hub. So let's Future Dynamic program will address the sustainable development and problem solving class. And we will try to connect external resource and industrial initiate exploration and partial projects for the future. So this is Atelier Future. I saw really many old faces before in Atelier Future's friends here. So if there is a newcomer for to know Atelier Future, we would like to ask you to come to Future venue, and we are here in 3rd floor, so that you can know us more in Future venue. Yes. My part is finished, so I will let Ting to introduce about the Future Dynamic program 2023 and 2024. So,
thank you, Paula.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you can share your screen?
Yes. Here, everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Hey everyone, I saw some familiar names and then some new friends here. So welcome everyone and thank you for sharing your time with us. And thank you for your curiosity about this program. And I'll do my best to explain this as concise as possible because we have quite a lot to go through today. So just very quickly to give a very brief explanation of who we are. So our company name is Loftworks. So we met with members of Atelier Future, especially with Leslie and Paula and Jenny, everybody, back in 2021, I think, 2021, or actually the end of 2020, because we were they visited one of our accelerator programs in Tokyo, which was it was a collaboration with Panasonic. So just to very quickly, so our company, we define ourselves as a design and creative company in a way that we don't focus on just a single discipline, but we try to bring different professionals from different backgrounds together to create new types of initiatives or projects. So from the core of Loftwork, we expanded to different types of business units. So we actually have some cafes. We have about 14 now. Sorry, I think this might be a little bit old already. I think there's 14, Kelsey. Is that right? Something like that.
That's right.
Oh, you are mute.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Yes. Yeah, around the world, and then, but we use the cafe as a way to connect with different creative communities locally around the world. And then some of you guys already know Hidakuma, and then Material. So I won't go through all of them, but basically we're trying to use a kind of open collaboration way to collaborate not just within our own company, but also with different partners and friends and people that have the same ambitions, I think. So actually, we started the program, as Paula said, last year as a kind of pilot program. So that last year was we only planned for one semester to kind of test the water and see what are the response. And I would say that I think at least from the instructor perspective, it was really rewarding for us. I hope that it was the same for the participant from last year. But this year, we actually wanted to expand to have a longer program to kind of think about the longer term goal and kind of continuity for some of these initiatives as well. So recently in the summer semester, we just, a group of design students from the architecture department were with us in HIDA for the regenerative design studio, which is more focusing on rethinking about how can designer use the design solutions to rethink about the wood manufacturing process and how to think about how designers can brought in contribution in terms of providing increasing the sustainability of the industries. So, and then for this presentation, I'll be more focusing on the upcoming fall semesters happening in September to November. So it is the second year of the XL campus, and also it's the second year of the creative leadership. But the creative leadership this year is a little bit different because last year was kind of foundational class for all the participants to join. But this year we decided to make it into a standalone class because we have quite a lot of things to cover. And also there are things that we wanted to actually bring in some projects where participants can actually work directly with startups. Yeah. So, and then next year, actually, we are planning a program called Sustainability in Action, which is have further collaborations with a university from Southeast Asia. So this is a little bit of a sneak peek of what we did about just a month ago. So the Hidakuma team, Hida is in the middle of Japan, in the Gifu prefecture. So it is famous for not just the beef, but also for the wood manufacturing and also the traditional wood craftsmanships. So we brought our team from Hidakuma to introduce what we do in Hida in the first 2 weeks, and then the second half, and then also actually we also look into the situation of the local lumber and the manufacturers, which is Yoqingmen in this case, to go visit them and kind of compare the situations between Taiwan and Japan. And then the second half of the program, we went to Hida to talk with our key stakeholders, our local key stakeholders, and also visited our kind of a proof of concept office, which actually trying to utilize the entire log rather than and seeing wood as standardized materials. Yeah. So, and then we started to try to work on kind of do some hands-on prototypes together with the craftsmen and also the team in Hida to come up with some quick prototypes. Yeah, to show some of the ideas. Yeah. So without further ado, I want to introduce our instructors. So for creative leadership, we have Kelsey. She's the COO of Fab Cafe in Tokyo, but also she's also kind of the key organizer of our Fab Cafe global communities. And also she is very much focusing on sustainability and also hosting different types of global skills jams. And also she's also curating an award called Circular. Yeah. So Kelsey, if you can say hi to everybody.
Thank you so much, Tim. Hello, everyone. It's very exciting to join you all today. I also joined the Future Dynamic program last year with an organization called Safecast, and I'm super excited to join again this year. Thanks.
And then for this year, thank you, Kelsey. And then for this year, we invited our very good partner, Kalaya from Bangkok. I think it's a little bit too much to go through her resume, so I'll let her introduce very quickly and briefly of what she does. Hey, Kalaya.
I think it's better for you to introduce me. Okay, everyone, my name is Kalaya. Sawadee ka. So it's good to be here, and this is my first time in Future Dynamic programs. So I will be in your care as well. I'm looking forward to learn with you guys. If you want to learn Thai words, yes, I'm the person you can come and talk to. Okay.
Thank you, Kalaya. And then this is me. So I'm based in Taiwan. So my background was in architecture and then urban design, but now I'm working on projects that are kind of cross-disciplinary, and also very excited to get this chance to collaborate with Atelier Future to bring this program to NCKU. Yeah. So, and then moving onwards, so we have Kyle, Professor Lee from Parsons School of Design. Kyle, you want to say a few words?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. 各位好，我的名字叫做李树刚，我是台湾出生长大，所以我就不说英文了。各位好。
All right. Yes, and then is it okay? Okay, got it. And then we have Kobai Sensei from Yamas.
Hi, good morning. So I'm Kobayashi Shigeru. So I'm living in Japan. So I'm really happy to join this really exciting project again.
Thank you. And then we have our beloved Paul.
Hi. Yeah, so I think I was making this presentation. I was looking through the old photos from last year, and I see a lot of me very trouble thinking brain burning photos, but I those memories are coming back. But I think I'm getting prepared to do that again, hopefully this year. So yeah, very excited.
Yes. All right. And then we have a newcomer that's joining us as a visiting specialist called John. John, you want to say something?
Hi, Hi, hello, you guys. My name's John. So this year is my first time in the Future Dynamic program, so I'm very excited to see you guys soon. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Good.
Thank you, John and Paul. So I'll quickly introduce the creative leadership for this year. So the initial thoughts or the intention or the purpose of having something called creative leadership development is actually because Leslie, the director of Atelier Future, and I were talking about actually in the university, actually there's most of the class is focusing on, let's say, hard knowledge or external knowledge, where, like, for example, you're learning about computer science, you're learning about engineering, you're learning about architecture, you're learning about programming. But at the same time, we want to provide the opportunity to kind of have a program that you can look inwards, to think about how to become leader. And just to at this stage, I think for most of the students, at least when in my previous experience, when I was in university, I think most of the expectations from other people or to yourself is actually becoming more of a high achiever. So for example, if you want to get good grades, I want to go to a good grad school, or if I wanted to get a good job. So everything is about what I can achieve. But I think the difference between a high achiever and a leader is actually a leader will need to start thinking about from other people's perspective. So, and that kind of takes a whole different types of skill set in terms of how do you start thinking about how to actually empower the people to think about the how to and empower the team to think together with you, and also in some sense how can you be honest about something you don't know. So it takes a whole different type of skill set. So in this class, for the first half of it, we wanted to provide some tools for critical thinking and also communication skills. So, and the purpose of this is actually how to master ambiguity, because especially when you're outside, when you go onto your society after you graduate, like you probably in the situations where you need to manage contradictory views or conflicting needs. So, and there's no perfectly right answers, but actually how would you manage these types of ambiguities? And also the other thing is actually how do you support your teammates? And also very important to think about the professional ethics of your own behaviors. Yeah, and also the other thing is actually, especially now that like the skill of learning how to learn is very, very important. And the last thing is actually to understand that actually being a leader, you don't have to be always lead from the front, but there are powers actually that you can help being a facilitator, or you can actually lead from the back. So yeah, so there will be we'll have different types of so-called design thinking techniques where student can start thinking systematically what are the types of key concepts, like for example, what does it mean to be actively listening, like active listening, and also what are the do and don'ts for user interviews, or having empathy, creating empathy maps, and then creating personas and things like storyboarding. What is the minimum viable product if you're thinking about new types of solutions, and also at the end of the day thinking about like the overall structure in terms of like dealing with different types of key stakeholders. Yeah. So, but on top of that, because this year also we are thinking about, well, with the rise of AI, well, what can we think about AI as a collaborative tech? So in a way, what if you think about how can you think about the AI as a teammate rather than like beyond just a tool? So previously, our understanding of being a leader is mostly just about human to human. But right now, actually, we need to start thinking about maybe human to machine types of communications, because we need to get used to a whole different sets of new limitations. Yeah, so there will be some introductions about kind of the basics of like prompt engineering, and also how to combine creative thinkings with different types of AI tools, and also like practical use of AI interactions. Yeah. And then for the second half of it, we will work with actually 2 startups. One is from Japan, and one is from Thailand. So I will have invite Kelsey to introduce Neo Organic. So Kelsey, that's your floor. I'll help you to control the slide.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone again. So I'm going to be introducing one of the startups called Mio Organic. Before I dig into what the startup is doing, I would like to introduce the founder of this startup. Her name is Mio Yamamoto. She's originally from Nagoya, and she launched her company called Mio Organic in May of 2020, so it's still quite a new company. It is a startup, but at the same time, she launched this new brand under her family business, which is called Toyowa Company Limited, which has been operating for 45 years. Her brand focuses on environmentally friendly daily goods, and she also runs an online shop that specializes in sustainable takeout containers. This is Mio herself. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. So this blurb is kind of an insight as to why Mio decided to start this business in the first place. So I think the case is very similar in Taiwan as well, but basically in Japan, whenever you go to a hotel, whether or not you request them, you're always given a pack of hotel amenities. So a toothbrush or some soap, maybe a washcloth. These kinds of items are quite standard whenever you go to any kind of hotel in Japan, whether it's a budget-friendly hotel or an expensive hotel. And so what she was thinking to herself as she was traveling is wondering, how many toothbrushes are being thrown in the trash every day around the world, not just in Japan, but everywhere. And so this kind of insight led her to develop an eco-friendly toothbrush, and which was released in May of 2020, her bamboo toothbrush. After she released this toothbrush, which, I think that these kinds of eco-friendly toothbrushes, they're kind of, how do you say, like, not common, but, we see these, all over the place these days. She was being asked by her customers, isn't there something we can do about the toothpaste? And so from this, she started to innovate and developed a new product, which is a type of paper toothpaste. So maybe some of the students in the room can imagine why paper toothpaste would be more sustainable, but basically because it has no water, the water is coming from your mouth when you brush your teeth, it's more lightweight, so it can be more easily transported around the world. Whenever it's less heavy, it also means it takes less gasoline to move it around. It also takes up less space, so whenever you're transporting it, you can send more in quantity. Of course, it's good for hotels, but you can also use it in emergency situations. You can use it whenever you're camping. And this toothpaste paper, which was released in April of 2022, has now won several awards, including the Circular Awards, as well as the Good Design Award. We can go to the next slide. We can go to the, looks like Tim is a little bit off. Oh, should I try to share from my screen or? I'll continue. We'll just continue looking at Mio. So basically, I'm gonna go to my slides then. So basically, the kind of products that she's offering, as I mentioned, are the bamboo toothbrush, the toothpaste paper. It actually foams up in your mouth because it responds to the saliva and water in your mouth, and it reduces the plastic use by about 98% compared to conventional products. So if we can go to slide 27. Oh, perfect. Here we are. So you can see what those products look like here. The paper itself actually folds into the middle of the toothbrush, and then you just stick it directly into your mouth. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. So right now, her products have been being sold in several, especially boutique hotels around Japan. Some of the hotels include Nipponica. There's also Weezer, the Good Nature Station, and not just the toothpaste paper itself, but her other products, which usually come as a set, have also been awarded the Good Design Award. And now she's thinking about what it would mean if she were to spread her business around Southeast Asia. And so what I hope that the students in this class, in particular in this work group, will think about is who might be, the main key stakeholders, or what are the concerns of those stakeholders as this product comes into Taiwan. So for example, maybe there's some cultural differences. I'm sure that there's some challenges around the market awareness or the education around this kind of product. What is the kind of price sensitivity that Mio or her startup members should be aware of? Of course, there's some logistic questions to be answered about distribution and also about local competition. There might be some regulations or some certifications that might need to be taken care of in order for this to come into Taiwan or other Southeast Asian countries. Of course, we'd have to think about language and communication. Mia herself speaks fluent English, as you'll get to meet her in the class. But what's going to be the best way for this startup to have meaningful communication with other similar boutique hotels in Taiwan? Of course, we want to think about how to scale up. And then it goes without saying, is this kind of marketing or branding going to work in Taiwan or not? So these are the kinds of questions that we're curious to ask the students in this group. We're going to be thinking about marketing strategies, but for people in this class who have like a product design background or any kind of design background, we can also brainstorm about what kind of new products might be interesting in the context of Taiwan that go beyond the toothbrush or the paper toothpaste or things like this. So these are the kinds of things that we want to explore in this work group. And for anybody who's interested in sustainability or sustainable tourism, sustainable product design, these kinds of keywords, we want to warmly welcome you into this work group. Great. So that's it from me.
Hi, sorry, I'm back. My internet just gave up on me somehow.
No worries.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. So, do you think, Paula, do you want me to share, or do you think your style
it's
will
okay.
be
You can share. You can share.
Okay. All right, sorry.
Also, I'll share some links in the chat for anybody who wants to see the information on social media or on her website.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah.
So next one, I'd like to ask Kalaya to introduce the startups. Teja. I hope I say that correctly this time.
I know it will be a little bit difficult for Thai words. I think John can help me as well, right? Teaching them how to teach Thai. Okay.
Sure.
So, thank you, everyone. Thank you, team. So today I would like to introduce you our startup from Thailand named Tejai. The meaning of this word is like pouring your heart into it. So like Te is like pouring, and then Jai is heart. Yes. So the founder of this startup name is Ada Jila Paisan Kun Naka. So Ada will be meet you guys, I think on the 19th, I think from the schedules. Yes, and then if you have any further question, you can ask her. But today I will just like briefly introduce you to her like background. She's graduated from economic school in Thailand, and then later on went to US to study in Columbia Universities. She is very interested in social innovation, social entrepreneurs, and also the social investment in Thailand, as her background is economics. And then after she went back to Thailand, she found the Thailand Young Philanthropist Network, which has like 2,700 young leaders from Southeast Asia to join, and then like working together to make change in the society. Yes, so that is her like major accomplishment, and many of people in Thailand know her from that one. And later on in 2012, she found the Tejai, which is like their crowdfunding platform. You can think of it as the Indiegogo or Kickstarters. Yeah, but focusing on social like topic issue only. Yeah, so if you go to their website, you will see many campaigns, many fundraiser related to education, sustainability, and also like environmental aspect as well. So for like Fab Cafe in Bangkok, we're also working with her on any project relating to like building the prototype for social aspect, such as like air air hack program that asking students to come up with a new idea how to solve our air pollution, something like that. Next slide, please. So the goal for this work group is that we would like to explore the new way to improve the crowdfunding platform, focusing on compassion. So it's like the human sensitivities, like how can we quantify or like collect data based on human emotions, and then use it to prepare further strategies or like a proposal for improving their system. In this work group, we will also doing the research on what is the compassion tech. It's a very new word, but I already checked on the Google, and then there are some people try to working on in this area, so we can discuss after we work together. And then the next thing is that we would like to learn about like people like behavioral targetings. So you know that when people donate money, you have to understand them and then finding the way to communicate with them, understand their empathy, and then using that to ask them to join your fundraising programs or campaigns. So behavioral targeting, is there any other tools that we can use to collect the data? And then the last one will be how to identify the donors. Yes, next slide, please. Yeah. Besides our artificial intelligence, which John will teach you about their basic prompt and everything, we will also use the software called NoteXL, which is like kind of like a software plugged into the Excel, Microsoft Excel, which I think you guys might already use it before. So this NoteXL and then the theory of social network is starting by Professor Mark Smith from Stanford University. So as you know that many people are now on social media, and then there are like under hidden data that normally we cannot check through their site or social media account, but with the underneath data, we can use that one to analyze the influential and then the behavioral patterns, which normally used in marketing strategies. But this one, we just want to try to be a detective to understand the Tejai donors, how those people connect to their groups, and then what kind of things that they are prioritized, and then using the data to identify whether they are hub or bridge, because the strategies to develop their finance the fundraiser will be different for those type of character people. Yes, so that's why we will introduce NoteXL in our work group, and then use it to combine with AI, our friends, and then come up with the proposal for Tejai together. Yes, so this is our challenge for this work group. If you have any further question, feel free to ask me. Yes.
Thank you, Kalaya. Yes. So is my internet okay? Is everybody still seeing me, or like am I just a frozen?
It's stable now.
It's okay. All right. Okay, great. So for the schedule, I think like actually there was quite a lot of question from the questionnaire that you guys, the Google form that you guys filled in. Is like, okay, what's the time? So our first class is actually on the 19th of September, and then it's on a Thursday. It's basically on every Thursday evening. So because I heard from Paula, actually everybody have quite a lot of class on Thursdays usually. So we're trying to actually have evening sessions so that in a way, so we hopefully we can accommodate more people. And then for the first 3 classes, it's actually more like an introductory class. We'll do different types of exercise, introducing different types of toolkits. And then starting from week 4, which is October 12th, then we will get into the project challenge that Kelsey and Kalaya just described. And then we will have about 5 weeks focusing on this types of a very kind of more like kind of intense types of research phase. And then we'll have the pitch on November 9th. And then the last week is actually very, very important, is to have the reflections and the kind of evaluation. So imagine that is kind of a practice of a job interview, right? So after you work with AI, work with the startups, and then if a job interviewer asks you, like, so if AI can do all of this, like, what will be your value in contributing into the projects? I hope that by that time, by week 9, you'll be able to have a pretty good sense of what is your values in terms of what are your contributions to a team that are focusing on these types of challenges. So yes. And then we will move along to XR Campus. So for XR Campus, actually, so we also done the program the first year, but second year, actually, I'm actually very excited about this because now finally, this is the first time where we can try to think about XR, like using AR and VR, not just as a single user experience, but actually can be a communication tools where we basically building on the framework from last year. We are able to use the XR environments, so in a way that it can have multi users to communicate and share within basically a hybrid space between digital space and physical space. Yeah. So, and we wanted to give this tool not to the administrator of the university, but actually giving it to the students. So in a way that the student can actually use this tools to think about how they can actually utilize it. In a way, if you might like maybe like you can think about if this is like maybe this is a new tool, like a new form of PPT, like that you'll be able to adopt and also be able to facilitate different types of kind of internet community within the campus. So I will let Kyle present to let the student know more about Kyle.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm gonna switch to English because everyone else is speaking English. I feel bad. So I'm Kyle Lee. My Chinese name is Li Shugang. That means I'm not serious and I don't follow rules. That's what I named. It's about, I don't know. So I'm a playful experience designer. What that means is I create a system of things that's playful and use that as a platform for communication. So in my work, there's a lot of moving components, both digital and physical, and then they work together to create a playful experiences. So physical and digital reality plus virtuality. Whatever that's fun, right, and meaningful. Next slide, please. Wait, what do I do? Oh, okay. So Tim already laid down the roadmap, and when we look at social media, when we look at the future, when we look at this idea of metaverse, what we really are doing is looking at ways of communication between people. And if you're old enough, remember back in the day, we have the beeper. We communicate with each other on social network through text. And then we move on to use images. And then we move on to use videos. And now we're all on TikTok and IG looking at people's short video as a way of communications. So it can help to imagine, in 10 years, 15 years, how that format will change and what kind of social media we're going to be on 10 or 20 years from now, right? And you can see last year, Facebook actually filed a new patent. It is a hologram communication method. So they're imagining in the future, hologram is going to be part of our social network, right? And how will we move from here to there is such fascinating things to think about, not just from technology point of view, also social and people and humanity point of view. Next slide, please. So we kind of talk about the trajectory of where social network might be, how we're going to interact with each other in the future. And there's a very important things that on the side, the technology also kind of become more and more advanced to allow us to do a lot of things that we couldn't do, I would say 10 years ago. And I think one thing that's very important, I think in the backbone of the XR campuses is we want to promote all these tools and technology to people who are not savvy or proficient in technology. But we want everyone to be able to create content. We want everyone to be able to share information with each other. And in the future, everyone can create their own immersive experiences and share that with each other as a way of communications, right? So from the very beginning, we're looking at AR, augmented reality. It is laying out digital informations in the real world. And from there, we kind of move on to look at XR. How can we make this experience more real or more sophisticated or more immersive for each other to enjoy? And in the future, this two will probably, the reality and the virtual reality will probably mix even further and becomes a way of living. So at the end of the day, moving towards metaverse, moving towards this future of social network is really looking at how do we design a better living for the future. Next. Ooh. So this is the big tree at NCKU. I was gonna use my journey to generate some layers on top of it, and I realized my subscription has ended. So I need everyone use your imaginations. If this is the reality of NCKU, in the future, when we have that ability to lay over informations or our imaginations on top of the reality, what will NCKU be like, right? How will that change your day-to-day living on the campus, right? So this is, I think, is a fascinating things to think about. And how do we use technology to do that? And this year, we push the technology even further and try to make it as friendly as possible for people without tech backgrounds. So if you're not that tech savvy or if you're not an engineer major, don't worry about it. We have lots of tools for you to try to bring your imaginations to reality. Next slide, please. So this is my last slide. I just wanted to point out that we're not the only people that are thinking about this. There's a research that came out in 2017, and they're predicting by 2030, 85% job that existing in the future hasn't been invented yet. So we were already looking at some of the project and entrepreneurs, and they're starting new career, they're starting new positions. So I really encourage or pushing you to think about, instead of looking for a job, maybe the opportunity lies in creating one for yourself, right? So would that be part of the 85% that hasn't been invented yet, or is it something even newer, or reinventing a job that already existed? I think this part is very excited to look at, and we will be looking at this both from conceptual end and the technology end with you throughout this camp.
Thank you, Kyle. So for the next part, I would like to ask Kobayashi-sensei to share. Yes.
Yeah, so hello again. So I have been working in the intersection between media art, design, and engineering and social science. So, and surprisingly, I have working almost 20 years in this area. So, and that's why, so I am responsible for introducing what is called technology. So technology is actually really diverse from low tech to high tech. So, but main focus of this workshop is what is called high tech. So, and XR is a part of the technology. So therefore, so my role is introduce what is called technology gradually to you. So that means this is a black box. Please use as a user. So it's not a way of using my attitude. Our attitude is, so look at the inside and open the box or look into the box. So to, interpret the technology as a glass box instead of black box. Okay, next slide, please. Yes, so however, so there are many challenges. So I listed from top to down. For instance, how might we make our daily life fun and interesting? So that's a really good design challenge, but too ambiguous. So if I interpret the design challenge a little bit, so for this workshop, maybe we can say, how might we design an Excel wall that we have never seen before? So that's also really complicated because nobody knows the answer. So, and the third one, a little bit broke down version. So how might we start designing an experience we have never experienced? This is also really difficult. So because we can't design an experience without experiencing it. So it's not trick word, but so it's really complicated. So, and therefore, so we designed a toolkit for you. Next slide, please. Yes. So the name of the toolkit is Toolkit for Collaborative Excel, and will be released just before the workshop starts. So it's a really tiny toolkit we developed for the workshop to add digital layer to the physical world. So physical world is where you are living. So and we will add a layer to the digital world. So, and the two key concepts is here. So the first one is a minimalism at its best. So it's really simple. So if you can read the code written in Python, so you can really easy to understand. It's really compact, and so maybe we can discuss together to implement the necessary functions. So during the workshop. So therefore, so we designed it as a minimal. So and so there are no black boxes. So you can read and understand the inside of the toolkit. So and toolkits consist of what is called API server. So and other components. Let's go to the next slide, please. Yes. So I will introduce these components for physical computing. So this year, so we use M5 stack again. So, but the controller is really tiny one like this. Just 2.5 centimeter by 2.5 centimeter. It's really small one. So, and we will combine sensors and actuators to to measure the changes in an environment or so make action to the physical world. So this is kind of the Lego block. So really easy to understand, easy to use. So and next slide, please. Yes, so this is an example of your visual coding with UI flow. So UI flow is a programming environment. So if you have tried with Scratch, so it's similar to Scratch. Really easy to understand. Maybe I can introduce UI flow in 5 minutes. So and you can write code like this in 10 minutes. So 15 minutes later, so you can communicate with the server. So this is a really simple and boring demo. So press the button. So and the state is reflected on the server immediately. Yeah. So and next slide, please. Yes, and in the workshop, I will introduce the communication step by step. So as introduced in this sequence diagram, so there are many actors. For instance, so M5sec and the servers and the database. So if you understand step by step, so there are no black boxes. So all glass boxes. So and you can tangible make tangible those technology. Okay, thank you very much. That's all. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Kobayashi-sensei.
Hey.
Yes. And then
if
next
yeah,
one,
maybe
Paul?
I can share my slides
Sounds good.
from my computer.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, here. Okay, so hi, I'm Paul, and next I'm going to share about like actually what is going to happen during this campus. So this XR campus, total there's nine weeks, which meaning there's going to be 9 classes, and as you can see, there's the like blue part and the red part. I'll talk about the blue part first. So the blue part is the learning and very hands-on sessions. So these are for inputs. So we are putting in new skills, new understanding into your mind, and so this part is also separated into 2 parts. So the upper part here is we are going to teach you like how to make making the AR experience. So we are going to start with the like software side. Like so we are going to like teach about like Unity and like Playmaker and Styly, like these kind of software. And basically we are going to teach you how to build a virtual space and overlay it onto the real space. And then we are going into the toolkit that Kobayashi-sensei was just talking about, which is the toolkit for collaborative XR. And then we can so that we can have a place to store the information of the virtual space. So we can have like save function. Like when you're playing game, you can actually save some information in the database. And then we are going to like learn about the hardwares and all that. And the other part is another very important part is learning how to design public interactions. So this is an unplug practice at the same time as we are learning the like technical part. So at around week 5, these 2 things should come together, and then we can think of our unique like AR interactions project together. So we'll do some ideations, and week 6 we are going to like have midterm proof of concept like discussions and all that. And from week 7 to week 9, so we are going to use this time to actually make a prototype of your project. Okay, so after all, you're going to have a working prototype. Okay, so I want to remind you, like based on the experience from last year, so the learning part is kind of intense. So we are learning a lot of things in 6 weeks. So you can prepare to have like we will have the session in class, but before and after the class there's going to be like a pre-class and also homework. So like be prepared to spend around like 6 hours per week, I think is average. So so this is not a very like easy class, but we promise that you are going to learn a lot of things. So at the end of the last 3 weeks, there's going to be the project, make the prototype. So it's going to be from ideation to like debugging and testing. We're going to go through this process many times until we have your prototype. So next. So these are some photos that from last year's class. So give you a kind of image of what's going to happen. So like for the first part, how to make AR experience. So people are like taking their phones, walking around and trying to touch these virtual objects with their phone and trying to immerse themselves into the AR space, and kind of scratching your head with the Unity because it's kind of complex, but I think we can do it. And then we are also going to like experiment with some hardware to like have different inputs other than just the inputs from your phone. So for example, here we are using the straw to use the your breath to give input to interact with the AR contents, like blowing bubbles, shooting darts from your mouth or something like that. And as for the like learning how to design the public interactions, we are going to like Kyle is going to bring the very interesting practice like sessions from Parsons here. So actually we are going to the public spaces in the school, and then we are going to start from observing like what actually people are doing in these public spaces, and then trying to design something to kind of interfere or kind of encourage people to do something that we want them to do. So you might think that oh, it's easy. We will just put some signs saying, oh, don't touch this or go there, sign in the public place. So that is not what we're going to do. Actually, we are like banning the students from doing that, because like in Taiwan, like in all the like a bus or the parking lot, there's so many signs. So we are going to do the opposite of that. We're going to have some very intuitive ways to guide the users to do some really interesting interactions. Like for example, there are just lines on the floor, and then people will go along the lines and then do like hug each other at the end of the trail they make. And I think another cool example is this one. They are just like putting these piece of paper on the wall. So it starts with once upon a time, and there's like other piece of paper on a table and a pen. So people passing through can write down what happens next. Like they can create this story together and post it on the wall. So that's like super easy to understand, and people can totally understand it, and then we can create something together, right? So this is a very good example. So like at the end, like the cops kind of throw everybody away, but actually there's a story that's created by all the people in the public space. Okay, so next, so there's going to be also the ideation process, and then we are going to use kind of design thinking process to give you a lot of to think of different scenarios and give you a lot of ideas. And then I think the most interesting part is the last part, which is building the prototype. So we're going to have many like intense discussions, like from Kyle and then from Kobayashi Sensei, and then we are going to do it online and offline to have discussions. And I think the interesting part is last year, actually, at the end, the students, although they are building their own projects, they actually like come to the space and work together and help each other to build each other's project. And then I like by helping is not just like helping the coding or something. Actually, they are support like spiritual support for each other also. So like this is Anthony from last year. So one day he brought his like hand brew coffee in the morning, and then kind of spiritually help the team to build the project. And me personally, I'll also help you to build the project. And this is a photo from the day before the final presentation, and kind of very frustrated. But after all, we finished this project like after all. So I'll help everyone to build it. And then at the end, the prototype, we have like built the like working prototype. Like for example, this is like eat bubble milk tea AR experience, and these are kind of a cat experience, and then I think it's pretty cool. So as for the syllabus, so basically we're going to have 9 weeks, and this class is going to be on Friday morning for 3 hours from 10 to 1. And for the mid-autumn festival, so 中秋节, we're going to have 1 week off, so don't worry about that. So this is kind of the schedule, and the starting week is right after I think the third stage of the class selecting. So you can make decisions like from the last stage of so clear out all the other classes to join our class basically. Okay, so we will teach like these 3 areas, which I already talked about, like building 3D world building and visual interactions, programming, and designing of public interactions. So if you are thinking like whether you're like this is you're ready to join this, guys, I want to tell you that if you are interested in these doing these things, you are like totally okay to join, and we are going to teach you to build these things. But if you already have some experiences in these fields, then you are like the perfect candidate to join. So please don't hesitate to sign up. Okay, so like if you have any kind of 3D modeling experience, or you kind of understand the programming logic, like meaning the like if else or like loop, do you understand these words? Or the third one is, I think also the very important one is, if you like or you have ever done some kind of experience design, meaning if you have ever asked people to join the thing you're designing, and you are asking them to do something, right? If you like to do this or you have this kind of experience, you are perfect to join this campus. Okay, so we are going to provide some, of course, all the tools you need. And then, oh, what's happening? Okay, so, but please notice that you need to bring your own laptop, which needs to be compatible, it needs to be powerful enough to run Unity, basically. So please check the specs of your computer. And then the Unity itself is free, but this software Playmaker you need to buy. You need to subscribe to buy the software. But actually, it's always under discount, so it's going to be like 1,000 NT, around 1,000 NT after the discount. So please notice about the discount if you already decide to join. Yeah, just you can just buy it, and then if you happen to have the chance to thinking of changing your phone, because major we are going to use our phone as the main device for Experience AR. For if you are changing your phone, then recommended to have the phone with the LiDAR function. So that's something to add. But I think most phones that students have right now will definitely work with our system already. Okay, so next, we invited a student from the XR campus from last year to talk about her experience and then what she is doing. After the campus, she's also doing a lot of interesting things from last year to this year. So we asked her to share about what she's doing. So let's welcome Jasmine. Hey.
Hi everyone, I am Jasmine. So I will share my screen now. Can everybody watch my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes.
So I will start with a brief introduction. So I am Jasmine from Industrial Design Department. So I'm in my 5th grade right now. So usually I will introduce myself as a dancer or an industrial design student, but in the past year, I start to in touch with interaction design, which makes me start to lead startup teams. So next slide for now. So this is me in the last summers. So I have a problem what should I do for my graduation thesis? And I'm not sure if I want to do just mainly a product because I'm an industrial design student. And also I have a dream that I am a dancer. I would like to bring the joy of dance to the world. And then I don't know what to do, but I saw a post from Atelier Future, which is you guys attending today. And then I start to start my accelerating journey for after that. So this is what we done in the first 2 months. I learned basically a lot of software like Unity, Styly, and Playmaker. And also we start to integrate our AR project with some new controller like M5 stack and other sensors. And then during these 2 months, we really learn a lot of things, and it is hard to be honest. But when you start to see your AR content work in the real world and then really interacting with others people, you will have more passion. You will go to improve it by your own. Yeah. So so in the past year in November, we got a final presentation. So this project is named Your Body is an Ocean. So I put I put a phone with AR content in a sphere, which let people to trigger the music content by pulling the sphere. And then I gained a lot of feedback from tutors and even principal from NCKU. So after this, this project have chance to go to exhibit in Bangkok Design Week just in the past January. So the most exciting part is I can have chance to talk with creators and also audience from global. And then this is a really hardcore and challenging curating experience, but I have learned a lot from everyone's feedback. So we totally reach out 11,000 audience from worldwide. So this makes me like have more confidence to continually work with this kind of creative projects. So this was us in the past January. You can see a man lying on the floor. So he is Lee Sang. Lee Sang is my partner. We both work with this project on installation design and also in the AR content design. So we keep iterating our project to make them really presenting well in Bangkok. So we received the offer in in December, and then refined the work in just 1 month. So this is our audience. You can see there's a lot of people from different races, different country, and then there is old people, big people, small people. So you will feel very gratitude, and then when you see your works really work in real life. Yeah. So I will also tell it is not just about learning some hardcore skill in the program, but I did learn some soft skill from the creative leadership program, which helped me to really bring my creative ideas into the real world. Let's say I have to know how to articulate my design ideas by using some form words which users can really understand, but not just in the level of a concept design. And also I have to really understand the user. So we really test our project with the real user and understand how did they feel to our project. And also we quickly iterate our project. It is not I have experience like basically I always think that I have an idea and I have to directly make that idea come true. And then my instructor Paul tell me you don't have to make everything become perfect at the first time, but you have to like trial and error. So yeah, you just like make something come up first, and then after that you will know what you can improve in both from technique on from design aspects. So creative leadership program also helps me a lot about my soft skills. So based on the projects that I share above, although now although I'm not a student of FDP right now, but I still continuing like creating creative project and then working on interaction design. So this is my graduation thesis project, which is Sonic Stride. So it is an app which integrate users walking movement data and also the environmental movement data, and then we blend the data into music, and then to make people be aware of their movement in the city and the environment. So beyond this project, I cooperate with friends from different fields, and then we bring the project into Tainan and Taipei, and then to give a lot of users to do the testing, and we really also gain a lot of feedback, and a lot of people find this app is really fun, and then they would like to know more about our future plan. So for now, I'm leading this startup team. So as you can see, we are all from different fields. Some of us are designers, some of us are from engineering, some of us are artists and musicians. And we are all from different university in Taiwan. And then this is me 3 years ago. So I will still dive into my knowledge from I was still stuck in the industrial design education. Like I have to really present my work in product-based form. But after I taking part in FDP, I found like I've got more, I've got a lot of weird knowledge, and then I got a lot of things I want to do. And also I know a lot of people, instructors and friends from this camp, and then I got more courage to do a lot of creative things. So I wish all students who would like to take part in this program can find what you want to do. And then if you would like to know more about our project, I will share it in the chat box later. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. So,
Jasmine.
yes.
Oh, I stopped sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. And here will be the last part, and I will talking about the recruitment. Wait for me. Okay, so I think here is today's introduction. I think here will be a little bit more information inside everyone's present, but I think here is the things I want to ask you guys to maybe we can have more hands-on project here, and you will meet the diverse issue in this program, but you will try to solve it, and you will have your soft skill and your hardcore, and maybe you can use this kind of maybe the team network and the international support, and you can conquer the problem and issue in this program. And some basic question you may ask, you may want to ask is who can apply, and we will like the current student in NCKU from sophomore level to the above, maybe to master level, you can apply this program. And about the enrollment period, we will have 2 rounds application. The first one is from now to September 6th, and the second round will be September 6th to 12th. So we will announce at the September 12th. So if there is the recipient, and you should confirm to join the program before September 13th. And the program period will be September 14th to November 25th. And everyone say it's 9 weeks, but we will have 1 week more to have the project consolidation week, so that we can wrap up your work on the website. And the number of the applicants, we will have total in 24, and each group have 12 people here. So you may apply for the recruitment in the Google form, and the form will be divided into several parts. First is your personal information, and then you need to fill in the work group section with your motivation and relevant professional ability survey. And the last part is the declaration. We have there a little bit things that you have to promise. One is you have to have a 70% attendance rate, or otherwise you will lose the qualification to join Atelier Future's event, or maybe like our scholarship recruitment, like, yes. And here is some FAQ from your from this online introduction answer form, and we have get this kinds of question, and I just create a Notion page. Then you can see the page. We have a question in Chinese and English, so that you can find the answer here. Some kinds of how can one enroll in the program, or the number of the participant number, and maybe the schedule or the duration. And yes, and you can try to find the answer here. So here you can see. Okay, so the time is really great now. It's 11:25. So we all have a QA section. If you have any question, you can raise your hands in WebEx app so we can know you have any question. Yes. Okay, is there anyone have question? Or you may type in the chat box. It's okay also. Is there any question?
Yes, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Oh, you can introduce yourself first.
Yes, sorry. My name is Walter. I am 4 years senior, and I'm in the mechatronics system engineering department.
Thank you. And
Okay,
you can ask your question.
Yeah, my question is that if we are doing the projects, for example, for the XR campus, are we enclosed to use just the tools and the programs and software that are we teach on, or can we expand to other types of software, toolkits, and so on?
Yes, maybe I can ask Paul or Kyle or Kobayashi Sensei to answer this question.
What kind of tools you want to expand? Like
for example,
Yeah.
if I am more developed using Rhino software to do my 3D
yeah.
design. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
kind of the
Yeah. So so like in order to build the AR experience, you will need like 3D contents, of course, right? So like so as long as the 3D content can be imported into Unity, then anything works. So basically, in fact, if you don't know about 3D modeling, we will ask the students, maybe you can get like some free assets, but of course you can do your like customized assets. That's the best, right? And to add, so we are using like a technique called the HTTP request to like communicate with the database. So if you are kind of a HTML expert, or you can do your own database thing, like there's no way to stop you to do your own thing. And if you can bring in like you are better than us, that's super welcome. Like bringing new technology in, that's super welcome, right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I saw some students type your question in the chat box, and if there is anyone wants to ask the question, you can raise your hand. Any question? Okay, so I think there is no one want to have any question right now. But if you have any question, you can send email or have a phone call to our office, or you can reply in the registration form so that we can have your email and we can reply your question to your email. Then if you have any question, you can also message our Facebook fan page or Instagram, so we can tell you the answer. Then is there anyone want to have time to say something, team or Paul or anyone?
Yeah,
Hi,
I
team.
think hi. I think I think there might be a lot of material to absorb and also things to consider. But I will encourage, because I will encourage people or students that are interested. I think taking this from a kind of really kind of a learning experience rather than coming here to be taught. Yeah, so I think there's a big difference between the two, because I think it's almost like if you hear actually from Jasmine, or actually Anthony, or like Justin, or like Dang Ye, or like there are people that actually join the programs from either the summers, or it really depends on like how much you put into, how much you will get out, and plus more. So I think the way that we're trying to design the class is really depends on how much work, or how much you're investing yourself into this type of programs. Yeah. So yeah, and then we are actually here to support you. I think I think it was either Paul or Kyle put it the best way in our last year's interviews, is that the teacher are not the one, the instructors are not the one giving you the assignments. Actually, we're just here alongside with you to help you to explore the things that you wanted to do. Yeah. So I think this is the best way I've heard in terms of how we're trying to build that relationship in this program. Yes.
Yes. If there is no one have any
I think
question?
there's a question.
Yes. Who?
Excuse me. Hi.
Hi.
I'm kind of confused with the schedule, because I saw in the chat like both programs are going to be held on different days, like one on Fridays and the other one on Thursdays. But I went to the website and then both say Thursday, so like I'm wondering which one's correct.
Oh, yes. I think I have wrong typing in the website. I will change it later. Sorry for this.
But to answer your questions, so the XR campus is going to be on Friday morning, and then the creative leadership is going to be on Thursday evening.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any question? I think no more. Oh, can freshmen join this project? No, because I think because in Atelier Future site, we will like freshmen to join campus life more in the first year in NCKU. So I think if you have tried to find because Future Dynamic will help in next year maybe, but I think yes, and we would like you to find out the things that you really I don't know how to say, but I think you can find out the things that you want to change in NCKU, so that you can join the Future Dynamic program next year, and you will have your topic to solve it in NCKU. Yes. Okay, is there any question? Yes, we will in English.
Hugo just raised his hand, I think.
Yes.
Hugo, do you raise your hand?
Is there anyone raise your hand? Okay. So yes. Today's we record this introduction, so you will see the YouTube link later in your email, and you will get these slides in PDF format, so that you can review in later. So if there is no one have any question, we will finish this introduction today? Last time? No, I think yes, no. Okay, so yes, welcome. Thanks for everyone to join today, and we are really welcome you to apply for this program, and you really will get very, very cool thing in this program. Yes. So may we ask everyone to have a camera on so that we can have the screenshot to have a photo today. So yes. Yes. If you can turn on your camera. I saw really many old face alumni. Okay, so please have a pose or have a smile on your screen so I can take the screenshot. Okay. 3 finish. Oops. Wait. I have so many page to have to because we have so many today. Yes. Okay. So let me. Okay. Sure. Whoa. So we will finish today and see you maybe on September. Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Yay.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.